Okay, so today is Thursday, August 24th, 2023. It's a rainy day here in eastern Pennsylvania. Hopefully the weather is relatively nice wherever you happen to be. So I was digging a little bit deeper into this question of relative valuation. Where does Stronghold Digital Mining stack up, or how does it stack up compared to some of our peers? Now, in the past, when I've done comparisons to our peers in the publicly traded Bitcoin mining ecosystem, I have gotten some pushback from those who believe that a comparison to Marathon or to Riot, that those comparisons are inappropriate because Marathon and Riot are, massive companies, and that, Stronghold Digital Mining is a very small company, and so therefore, it's not maybe appropriate to compare Stronghold to companies like Marathon and Riot. So be it. This analysis excludes completely Marathon and Riot. So what I did was I went to Google Finance and I, looked up the price of Bitcoin year to date. What has Bitcoin done year to date? And so the result is that Bitcoin, at least as of the time I did this analysis, at around, say, roughly 3 o'clock Eastern time today, Thursday, August 24th, 2023, Bitcoin is up about 57% for 2023 year to date. Hut 8, which is a publicly traded Bitcoin mining company, Hut 8 is up 175% year to date. Core Scientific, which is another publicly traded Bitcoin mining company that happens to be in bankruptcy, they are up about 873% year to date. Hive Digital, which is another company within the publicly traded Bitcoin mining ecosystem, they're up 125%. Greenidge, which is a company up in New York, not that far from Pennsylvania, they're up about 66% year to date. CleanSpark, they're up 127%. TeraWolf, they're up 166%. Cypher Mining, they're up 368%. And Iris Energy, they're up 266%. Let's put up the slide, please. So when you sort of put all those numbers together, I came up with a very rough average of 270%, right? Back to me now, please. So this selection of peers within the Bitcoin mining ecosystem, this selection of peers, which excludes Marathon and excludes Riot, is up about 270% year to date. Stronghold Digital Mining, by comparison, is up about 26%. Okay. So even if one were to say, okay, hey, why don't we pick the one company that we talked about a moment ago that has the lowest amount of year-to-date, return, which would be Greenidge, they're up 66%. We're only up about 26%. We've got a ways to go. So when we talk about relative valuation, it really does seem like, and I know we've said this before, but I really, this is something that I really want your feedback regarding. What are we doing, right? What is Stronghold Digital Mining maybe doing wrong that a bankrupt Core Scientific is doing right? What is Stronghold Digital Mining maybe missing that Greenidge is not missing and doing right? What could Stronghold Digital Mining do, right, to perhaps close that gap between, being up year to date as of today, right, Thursday, August 24th, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, up about 26% year to date, and TeraWolf is up 166%, CleanSpark up 127%, Cypher up 368%. I'm convinced that Stronghold Digital Mining as an entity, right, has advantages over certainly at least one company that I've mentioned in this list, right? Stronghold Digital Mining, as of today at least, is a company that's a going concern. Right, Stronghold Digital Mining is not in bankruptcy. Whereas by contrast, Core Scientific, to the best of my understanding, you tell me if I misunderstood the bankruptcy filing, but it's my understanding that they are a bankrupt entity, right? I've heard things about some of these companies. I'm not going to get into those details because, again, I prefer to focus on our own operation, right? Not comparing ourselves necessarily so much to others. But I've heard some not so positive things about at least one other company on this list. So I think there's definitely something to be said for our stock price. Even, forget about financials, forget about, you almost have to forget about financials, right? If we're comparing ourselves, right? Stronghold Digital Mining is being compared to a company that's in bankruptcy. To be fair to the company in bankruptcy, let's just forget about financials. Let's just kind of look at this purely based on the stock price, right? And stock performance year to date. Clearly, there seems to be a gap there, right? A relative valuation gap between what Stronghold Digital Mining's been able to do year to date and what our peers, or at least this selection of peers in the industry, have done year to date. I don't really have an answer. Similar to what Matt, the Stronghold Digital Mining CFO, mentioned, right, in our recent investor presentation as it pertained to slide number 8, right, that there's a sort of like a relative, I think, valuation dislocation. I think that might have been the title of that slide. And if I recall Matt's exact words, it was something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, that this surprises us. So I just want to reiterate that I continue to be surprised. And I think at this juncture, I really want to get your feedback. What are some thoughts or ideas you might have as to how we close the gap, right? We're up about 26% year to date. When you more or less average out, right, that collection of companies we just talked about, they're up about roughly 270%. Maybe Core Scientific, tilts that a bit to the higher side, given the fact that, they're up nearly 900%. But still, a lot of these other companies say, up 125%, 127, 266. So, let's just sort of say, hey, Greenidge is up 66%. What's it going to take for Stronghold Digital Mining to at least trade somewhat on parity, so to speak, right, with Greenidge? Iris Energy up 266%. Again, I'm not, and this is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I celebrate that these companies are doing so well. I really do. This isn't about like, oh man, that sucks, they should be trading lower than us. No, I want them to trade where they're trading. I'm just trying to figure out, both intellectually and at some level, just kind of like at a, it really just comes down to an intellectual curiosity that I've developed at this point as to, what's going on and what's it going to take for Stronghold to join the ranks of bankrupt companies that are up nearly 900%, or companies that I've heard some not so good things about that are up upwards of 150+%. Let's phrase it that way. Okay, let's turn it over to you. I want to hear what you have to say. As Matt said, hey, this surprises us. I don't know. I'm just very, very surprised today, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, let's, regardless, stay positive. Let's be great, and we will see each other again tomorrow.